Welcome back to 504 Road Trips. Today we bring you our 16th video in the I-55 series, and in today's installment we'll be driving through the city of Memphis, Tennessee. We begin at mile 4 heading north, and just ahead you'll see our old friend US 51, which has been tagging along with or closely following I-55 the whole way. And that part of US 51 that exit 5 leads to is special because it's called Elvis Presley Boulevard here. And on it is Graceland, the king of rock and roll's last residence and final resting place. We're about to go through a series of turns where I-55 will snake its way around the southwestern edge of downtown Memphis. At the upcoming interchange, I don't know what to call this, it's a partial cloverleaf with 2 flyovers. Anyway, we'll be turning west to stay on I-55. The road that continues straight ahead is I-240 that continues up to I-40 and carries the unsigned I-69 as well. Now what we're about to go through was an excruciating 45 minutes in traffic to travel around 8 miles. But through the magic of video editing, we condensed that down to 10 minutes. When this video was filmed on July 2nd, 2021, the other bridge that crosses the Mississippi River in Memphis, I-40, was closed due to a large crack found in a tie girder during a routine bridge inspection back on May 11th. At that time, the bridge was declared to be unsafe and immediately closed to traffic. The only other way to cross the river in Memphis is here on I-55 via the narrow Memphis, Arkansas bridge with only 2 lanes in each direction. Alternate routes are US Highway 49, many miles downriver with only 1 lane in each direction, and I-155 many miles to the north. Both of these alternate routes require a lengthy drive off of interstate highways to reach Memphis. As a result, a lot of cars and cargo trucks cross the river here, and with them all funneled onto I-55 there are going to be delays, not to mention that this was a Friday going into a holiday weekend. We knew this when we planned the trip, but with our goal of clinching I-55, we didn't have any other option but to come this way. Now we're starting to get into the traffic, although most of this is people trying to exit at US 61. Throughout the traffic jam, Waze was trying to get us to exit here and at other places to take surface streets, only to get back onto I-55 closer to the bridge. With the number of cars taking these exits, I suspect the surface streets wouldn't have saved much time, and once again our goal was to clinch I-55. I stayed in the left lane, as it seemed to be mostly devoid of trucks, but there were a lot of people in RVs and towing boats and personal watercraft, and they had the same idea as I did. The whole way we're boxed in by trucks on the right, and there's speeding traffic going the opposite direction on the left. Most of this stretch of I-55 is either at or below grade, except a long overpass over a rail yard ahead. This section of I-55 is called the W.B. Fowler Sr. Expressway, named for William Bingham Fowler, a self-taught engineer who served as city engineer from 1919 until his retirement in 1969 at the age of 83. Memphis is the second most populous city in Tennessee after Nashville. As of the 2020 census, there are 633,104 residents in Memphis, and in 2017 the Memphis Metro was estimated at a population of over 1.3 million. Memphis is the county seat of Shelby County, the state's most populous county. Home to Tennessee's largest African American population, Memphis played a prominent role in the American Civil Rights Movement, and was the site of Reverend Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination in 1968. The city now hosts the Smithsonian National Civil Rights Museum. Memphis is one of the nation's leading commercial centers in transportation and logistics, which shows why it's a good idea to have 2 functioning bridges crossing the Mississippi River. FedEx, the city's largest employer, maintains its global air hub at Memphis International Airport, making it the busiest cargo airport in the world. The International Port of Memphis hosts the 5th busiest inland water port in the U.S., with access to the Mississippi River, allowing shipments to arrive from around the world for conversion to train and trucking transport throughout the United States. The city has long had a prominent music scene with historic blues clubs on Beale Street, originating the unique Memphis blues sound in the early 20th century. The city's music has continued to be shaped by a multicultural mix of influences: the blues, country, rock and roll, soul, and hip-hop. Memphis-style barbecue has achieved international prominence, and the city hosts the World Championship Barbecue Cooking Contest, which attracts over 100,000 visitors to the city annually. Now, as we approach the infamous I-55 Crump Boulevard interchange, some of the light-up display signs overhead, which probably can't be read on the video, said to use all 3 lanes to get to the bridge. I knew that only 2 lanes could get onto the bridge approach, but I thought that maybe the right lane becomes exit only just before the bridge. I was wrong. So I did an whole thing and waited until the last second to merge over. This is something I never do, but on July 2nd, 2021, I was an asshole. I apologize. Here we see one of the most talked about anomalies in the US interstate system, and it's not just a turn off to stay on ramp, but a 270-degree loop with a 25-mile-per-hour advisory speed limit to remain on the interstate. Prior to 2011, this loop only had 1 lane, but they somehow managed to squeeze another one in. When I-55 was built in the late 1960s, they didn't allow for very much space for a long sweeping turn to connect with a bridge that dates back to 1949. So this was the solution without any foresight to the volume of traffic that would one day traverse this highway. Plans are in the works to construct new through lanes for mainline I-55 and a roundabout to connect the 2 surface streets that connected the current Cloverleaf Junction. Now that we're on the approach to the Memphis-Arkansas Bridge, we're concurrent with U.S. Highways 61, 64, 70, and 79, and this road at one time carried US 63. Prior to the mid-1970s, this was the only way across the river in Memphis, so all of the nearby highways that cross had to be funneled onto this one roadway. I let this lady over in front of me to make up for being an asshole earlier. She was grateful and waved at me through the open window. The Memphis-Arkansas Bridge carries us over the Mississippi River. Traffic is still heavy, but without any further bottlenecks, it's flowing a lot better. It'll ease up even more once the road widens at the I-40 merge, which won't be carrying any traffic since there's only one on-ramp between the closed DeSoto Bridge and the merge. Midway across, we enter Crittenden County, Arkansas. To the immediate right, you can see the Frisco Bridge, which was constructed in 1892 and still carries rail traffic over the Mississippi River 130 years later. Further to the right of that bridge is the Harahan Bridge, opened in 1916, with cantilevered roadways added to the bridge in 1917, making it the first vehicle bridge to cross this part of the Mississippi River. Those former roadways now carry bicycle and pedestrian traffic. By the way, as of the release of this video, I-40 will have been open for about 6 weeks. Work to repair the bridge and provide additional reinforcements to the damaged section were completed and the bridge reopened to eastbound traffic on July 31, 2021, and the westbound lanes opened on August 2nd. We enter the city of West Memphis, the largest city in Crittenden County and the state's 18th largest city, with a population of 24,520 as of the 2020 census. The city was originally a settlement that existed to provide ferry service between Arkansas and Memphis. We conclude today's video at Arkansas mile marker 4. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to help support our channel, please check out our merchandise at 504roadtrips.spreadshirt.com. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, post a comment, subscribe, share and follow us on social media, and join us for our next 504 road trip.